Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still up this morning watching the combine. I've got through the running backs mostly because I did running backs first. I got through the running backs. I got through the wide receiver 40s. I got through some of the defensive line and linebackers, and that's some good stuff right there. And so we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, you know, two major things going on with Dallas or whatever. One is the Osa situation. I think we're trying to. I think we're going to actually end up in franchise tagging Osa. And this has nothing to do with Osa. I really like Osa. Don't get me wrong. I really like Osa. But with the situation that we're in cap wise and the condition of our team that we've paid, these players, this much money. I think everybody else needs to be kind of on the low, and if you can't get some lower guys, if you pay him a lot of money, you can't pay other guys. So it's just like I'm not feeling the whole Osa. It's kind of, what a good analogy is what I'm trying to say is Rico. Okay, Rico I really liked. Rico's he was from my hometown, not from my hometown, but he was there in my hometown for a while. But I'd rather use that money because he's earned money in the NFL way. When you get to be a certain status in the NFL, you earn a certain paycheck. He's earned that paycheck. Now he needs to go and try to get that paycheck. It's going to be hard this year with the running backs in the draft, but still, he needs to go and try to get that paycheck. But at the same time, we need to replace him, and we can probably replace him at the cheap with one of these young rookies that is going on behind me. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with Osa. Osa can go get his money, and I will hope the best for him, and I hope he goes and makes a good impact on the team. But for us to make him, to franchise tag him and pay him top money at his position when we don't even know how vital he is to the current defense that we have. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't know how he fits in with Eberflus, if he's going to be a major thing or he's just going to be a cog. You know what I'm saying? So the whole Osa thing really is kind of how we play ball though. We keep the key guys that we pump up. We pump up their name and then we pay them more money. And we pump up their name because they're on the Cowboys and they're on TV a lot and all that kind of stuff. That's how we pump up their name, and they get paid more money. And that's how the Cowboys roll. Next, we have another thing that got me just as messed up is the Commanders traded for Deebo from South Carolina, another South Carolina boy. But Deebo, personally, I didn't want Deebo. It wasn't like, man, we should have did it. But the only thing that messes me up there is like we spent a fourth on a certain receiver that we're waiting for, and they spent a fifth on Deebo. I know the contracts are different in two, but still, the draft pick, I'm gonna miss that fourth this year, unless I see some stuff in the training camp from him. But Deebo is going to be a problem with the Commanders' offense. Now, I think the Commanders probably have the best offense in the NFC. And if they don't, the Eagles do. So that's the situation that we're in. We have to stop two of the top offenses in the NFC with a new defense, no one. And then we, on our offense, also have one of the worst offenses in the talent-wise. We have one of the worst offenses in the NFC, talent-wise. So we're in a pickle, people. We're in a serious pickle. So the acquisition of Deebo for the Commanders, it puts way more pressure on our defense to be able to stop them. Our defense has already had a job to stop the Washington Commanders moving forward, right? Now you put a person who you don't even know where Deebo is going to line up. He could be a third down back. Me, I would use him as a third down back, like a Sproles type of whatever, if I already got some great receivers. You know what I'm saying? I use him for that to go. He can actually run routes out the backfield. He can be in the flats. He can take the ball. He can do literally anything. And there won't be a huge role for him in Washington. He's going to be an asset to what they're doing. So they won't be dependent on Deebo. So it's not like, oh, Deebo's hurt, we got to do something. No, when Deebo's healthy, he will be an asset. When he's not there, the Commanders will be running as the Commanders run. Do you get what I'm saying? So it puts pressure on us defense to try to stop that, and it puts a pressure on our offense to be able to keep up with that. And neither side is anywhere near that ability at this moment. So let me get to this combine thing. I've been watching it, and I was so juiced up on these running backs. I'm like, oh, these running backs are so good. Oh, and they are performing like a MF out there. I usually, I've been sitting here hating. I'm like, man, this person ain't throwing. Shador ain't throwing. This person ain't running. Ain't no quarterbacks running hardly. All this stuff. I was just like getting mad at all the people for sitting out of the combine because the combine is turned into something else or whatever. But Ashton Jeanty should have stayed as far away from these guys as possible. Ashton Jeanty needs to stay away from. He did a good job of staying out of these because Quinshon Judkins did great for himself. Amarion Hampton did great for himself. Who else? Bashul Tutin. I told you about Tutin. I had Tutin in my tier 3. Tutin has moved from tier 3 to tier 1-ish. Omarion Hampton has moved to the very tippy top of tier 2. and he's the one basically telling Jeanty that you better be glad you didn't run because I would outrun you. that's what Omarion Hampton's doing. So we've got there was a lot of good people. R.J. Harvey, Brashard Smith. It was a whole bunch of them that did well in this combine. So I was thinking, I was like, man, we're going to get a good running back. We're going to get a good running back. But look at all these running backs. We're going to get a good running back, but so are them, and so are them, and so are them, and so are them. So a lot of teams are going to get really good running backs. And my fear this morning, I was like, man, if the Commanders get somebody off this list, like a Tootin, or I can pick up any. Look. I know I'm going to be depressed on draft night because one of these guys on this list, Judkins, Henderson, Johnson, Hampton, Gordon, Scatterbo, Dylan Sampson, Tootin, Neal, Brooks, Etienne, Martinez, Donovan Edwards, Mullings, Giddens, R.J. Harvey, Brashard Smith. One of these guys, Hunter, one of these guys are going to be a Washington Commander. And I'm going to go, jeez. They got one of the studs. So I'm gonna be watching the draft really, really intensely with these running backs because in order for us to win, in order for me to feel great, we gotta have we gotta get like Amarion Hampton and Brashard Smith or a Tootin and Ollie Gordon. I love the Tootin Ollie Gordon. We got to get a combination that's just like a bow combination because Ollie Gordon, he didn't do well for himself in the combine because he ran a little slower. So Ollie Gordon is going to drop. So if you wait, you'll be able to wait and get who I think is an outstanding running back. If you wait and get Ollie Gordon because of the speed factor, whatever, and then complement Ollie Gordon with a guy at the backfield like a Tootin that you would have to get early because of whatever, you have to play the draft because that 40, it means nothing and it means everything at the same time. So it means a lot as far as value. So Tootin's value is going to go up. You get him earlier and then get a Scatterbo. Scatterbo did a good job staying away from these dudes either because athletically he can't. Scatterbo did a great job staying away from these dudes. Scatterbo is just a football player, but if you put Scatterbo with the Tootin, you have a 1-2 punch that I would be excited about. So we have to somehow It's even like Genty. I'm sorry, dude. I'm one of your biggest fans. I think you're amazing, but I think, and most people are like me. I think I like the combination of two of these dudes rather than him being a bell cow. If you understand what I'm saying. Because him being a bell cow, he may get hurt. Then we have to deal with being without him. So they may key in on him just like they did in the college playoffs, and we have to figure out what to do and whatnot. But if you have two running backs that, if you build a defense to stop a powerful running back, then you can stop that powerful running back. But guess what you're gonna get? You can get the juice. You can get the running back that's gonna outrun all those guys that can stop that powerful running back. We win game. If you get a fast team that can run down this running back that's fast, then you got a Marion Hampton or Ollie Gordon or a big boy that can just blast through, a Scatterboo that can blast through that team. So I'm telling you, after watching these guys, I'm liking some kind of superhuman combination of a running back. Not just get a back. We got to get two. We got to get two. Think Detroit Lions. Got to get two. Got to get a what do you call them? A Sonic and Knuckles. Got to get a Sonic and Knuckles. And the Sonic and Knuckles has got to be better than the Sonic and Knuckles that currently exist in Detroit. So that's what we got to do on offense. Or we really have no chance. We really have no chance because one thing of helping us against a team like Washington with such a great offense and a team like Philadelphia with such a great offense is being able to hold on to the football, is to be able to hold the football. If we can hold the football and keep their offense on the bench and score and then somehow stop them a few times with our defense, then we have a chance versus those teams. But I'm telling you, here right now and standing in the spot that I'm standing in, we are so far behind the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles that it's ridiculous. The Washington Commanders have scared me so much, I don't even slip and call them the other name anymore. They are the Commanders. Yes, sir. So we have a lot of work to do. All right, I'll be over there on my NCAA game and online today because I done messed around and got into 4 NCAA leagues. We're doing one that's awesome. We're doing one league where we're just recruiting and we're simming through the entire season and we're just recruiting. And it's getting us better to figure out how to recruit for NCAA 26 when it comes out. But we're recruiting. And if we recruit to get our team to the playoffs, then we battle it out with each other, whatever. But it's all about the recruiting, and it's also giving us a lot of experience with recruiting, and we're battling with each other for the 5 stars and things of that sort. So, man, I'm doubling down on my college football 25 because when college football 26 get here, all right, guys, holla at you. I'll be out there today. Holla at you.